Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and pranams to all of you. Thank you all for joining in for our Krishna book study. We'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahavana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurajushe Namaha Panchatattvaatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavasaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripa tamaham mande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tarale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsachanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkravatamam Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and pranams to all of you. Thank you all for joining in our study session. Today we are starting with chapter number 4 of the Krishna book. The book is entitled Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So let me share my screen. What we read in the last couple of days when we did Krishna book, and the first 3 chapters, we read about how Kamsa was so much affectionate towards his sister Devaki that he was personally riding his chariot and was taking her to Vasudev's house. But then when there was an Akashavani that the 8th child of this particular Devaki is going to kill you, then all his love went out of the window. So this is the nature of people of this material world. As long as people are satisfying our sense gratification, we have love towards them, we have affection towards them. But then when the time comes that some mishap is going to happen because of that particular person, then all our love goes away. This is the characteristic of a materialist. Whereas a devotee understands that whatever trouble is caused even by a particular person, it is only given to me by that particular person. That person is only a nimitta matram. That person is only an instrument for me to get what I deserve as per my karma. So devotee always surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, praying for the courage, praying for the strength to get over it. And in that patience, in that gratitude, lies evolution, because such a person is entitled to even get liberation, right? Tattenukampam susamikshamaну bhujana evatma kritam vipakam Hridvad Vapuribir Vidada Namaste. Right? In the heart, a devotee expresses gratitude to the Lord even for trials and tribulations. Because these trials and tribulations are molehills that are offered for our purification. Although we are entitled to mountains of suffering for our past karma, due to our past karma. But a devotee always feels gratitude to the Lord. The Lord has reduced it to a minuscule. The Lord has reduced it to a molehill. And in this way, a devotee attracts the Lord towards him, and the Lord showers his profuse mercy on such a devotee who accepts even reversals as opportunities to render devotional service, and in gratitude continues to render devotional service. So this is what is actually given as the definition of a devotee. What does a devotee do? Any kind of reversal situation, a devotee will take it as a mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and will be grateful for it. And in return, the Lord showers mercy on that particular devotee. What does the mercy mean? Going back home, back to Godhead, right? Mukti, right? Tatyenukampam susamikshamaano bhunjana evatmakritam vipakam hridvat vapurvir vedada namaste jiveta. Jivet hai mukti padesa dayabak. Mukti pada. That means liberation is given to such a devotee by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But a devotee does not even want liberation. He doesn't want liberation from misery. He only wants to do active service in the service of Guru and Gauranga. Right? So in that way, we were seeing here how Kamsa is a demon, right? Because as soon as somebody, not even somebody's descendant, right? Somebody's son is going to cause him trouble. Immediately he decided to kill, right? And then suddenly he had a change of heart, and then suddenly what did he want to do? Suddenly he wanted to give an extra lease of life to Devaki. But then Narada Muni intervened, right? There is a spiritual plan, and the devotees ensure that the Lord's plan go as per normal, right? Not because of some mental speculation of some demon, right? Things of the plans of the Lord don't change, right? So Narada Muni came and told Kamsa that 1 could be 8, 8 could be 1. In a circle, we don't know which is 1, which is 8, right? So in this way, he goes ahead and kills all of the sons of Devaki, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, and 6. And the seventh gets transferred into the womb of Rohini, and that is Balaram. And the eighth son, we saw that how the eighth son is Lord Krishna himself, and he was born to Yashoda Maya. Vrindavan Krishna is born to Mother Yashoda, whereas Vasudeva Krishna is born to Devaki, because Vasudeva and Devaki performed austerities for many, many lifetimes, and in reciprocation, the Lord appeared as their son. Whereas Yashodamaya is eternally the mother, Nanda Maharaj is eternally the father of Vrindavan Krishna. So Yashodamaya has given birth to Vrindavan Krishna. Devaki has given birth to Vasudeva Krishna. Yashoda has also given birth to a baby girl who is Yogamaya. And in this way, we saw how the Lord appeared in his four-handed form as a child. And then when Devaki said, right, this form is very fearful, right, already Kamsa is trying to kill you. So please become a normal child. And then Vasudeva Krishna becomes a normal child, tells his mother, tells his father, Devaki and Vasudeva, that take me to Nanda Maharaj's home in Vrindavan. So in this way, Nanda Maharaj goes to, Vasudeva goes to Nanda Maharaj's house, where Yashodamaya has given birth to a boy and a girl, and he actually places the boy. He is able to see only the girl, right? But when he places the boy near Mother Yashoda, the two Krishnas merge. Vasudeva Krishna and Vasudeva Krishna means son of Vasudeva. The Krishna who is the son of Vasudeva and Vrindavan Krishna, they merge together, and he picks up Yogamaya and he takes it to the present house. You saw how all the guards are sleeping. Yamuna is overflowing just to touch the lotus feet of Krishna. There are showers of rain, yet Anantasesh comes and protects as Krishna is being carried by Vasudeva to Nanda Maharaj's house. So in this way, all auspiciousness was there, and everybody took the opportunity to serve Lord Krishna like this, right? So that is a description that we're going to see here, right? And what does Kamsa do when he gets to hear that it is a baby girl who's born, right? And then he tries to kill, and the baby girl goes and tells the child who's supposed to kill you has already appeared, right? And then she vanishes, and this increases the fearfulness of Kamsa, because he knew his end was near, right? Every second, every minute he was thinking of Krishna, yet he could not get the desired destination of Krishna Prem. Why? because he was not doing it anukulya, right? He was pratikul. He was against Krishna. He wanted to kill Krishna. He was always thinking, when will Krishna kill me, right? So in this way, it was not pure devotional service because it is not anukul, right? What is that? Anya bilashita shunyam, right? He had so much of abhilash. He wanted to kill. He wanted to rule. He wanted to have a long life. He wanted to kill everybody who was actually on the pathway of his getting killed. So anya bilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, right? He knew all the scriptures, right? He knew that it is not right for him to kill a woman, right? In spite of all the knowledge, right? Somebody who wants to enjoy sense gratification, wants to break all the rules. Whereas a devotee, even if he experiences suffering, will never break a single rule, knowing well that following these rules and regulations means pleasing Lord Sri Krishna. Anukulyena what is that? Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karmadyanavritam. Anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. Right? It's not that a devotee, when he wants, he will do service. When he does not want, he will not do service. No. A devotee, whether or not he wants to do service or does not want to do service. Because in the sadhaka stage, sometimes we don't want to do some service. Right? Even if we don't want to do some service, we need to do it. Why? Because it pleases Guru and Gauranga. So in this way, a devotee always engages in devotional service, whether or not he or she, because the service is not to please one's senses. The service is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, to please Guru and Gauranga. So Anukulena Krishna, Anushilanam, following in the footsteps of great Vaishnava Acharyas, following in the footsteps of what is stated in the scriptures. So in Dharmam to Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. So in this way, following the scriptures, following the instructions of the Gurus, right? Adherence to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. Bhakti Ruttama. That is said to be pure bhakti, which is devoid of all material desires, which is devoid of mental speculation, which is devoid of which is devoid of any kind of return from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is favorable towards developing love, which is favorable towards serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anukulya Krishna, Anushilanam, following in the footsteps of our acharyas. This is pure devotional service. So let's see how Kamsa gets scared and what does he do, right? When Vasudeva returns from Vrindavan and he's brought the little girl, let's see what is Kamsa's reaction and what does he do. This chapter is entitled Kamsa begins his persecutions. All right. So I see Deval Mataji's hand up. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Tanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Tanvat Pranam. Yes.
Krishna begins his persecutions after Vasudev adjusted things.
Kamsa begins his persecutions.
Kansa. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Kansa begins his persecutions after Vasudev adjusted things as they had been before he carried Krishna to Gokula, and all the doors and gates became similarly closed. The gatekeepers awoke and heard the newborn child crying. Kamsa was waiting to hear the news of the child's birth, and the gatekeepers immediately approached him and informed him that the child was born. At that time, Kamsa got up from the bed very quickly and exclaimed, "Now the cruel death of my life is born." Kamsa became perplexed now that the death was approaching and his hair scattered. Immediately he proceeded towards the place where the child was born. Devaki, on seeing her brother approaching, prayed in a very meek attitude to Kamsa, "My dear brother, please do not kill this female child. I promise that this child will be the wife of your son. Therefore don't kill her. You are not to be killed by any female child. The omen was that you are to be killed by a male child. So please do not kill her. My dear brother, you have killed so many of my children who were just born, shining like the sun. That is not your fault. You have been advised by the demoniac friends to kill my children. But now I beg you to excuse this girl at least. Let her live as my daughter." Kamsa was so cruel that he did not listen to the pitiful prayers of his sister Devaki. He forcibly grabbed the newborn child to rebuke his sister and attempted to dash her on a stone mercilessly. This is a graphic example of a cruel demon who could sacrifice all relationships for the sake of personal sense gratification. But the child immediately slipped out of his hands, went up into the sky, and appeared with 8 arms as a younger sister of Vishnu. She was decorated with nice garments and flower garlands and ornaments. In her 8 hands, she held a bow, lance, arrows, sword, conch shell, disc, club, and shield. Seeing the appearance of the child, who was actually the goddess Durga, all the demigods from different planets like Siddhaloka, Charanaloka, Gandharvaloka, Apsaraloka, Kinnaraloka, and Uragaloka presented her with various articles and began to offer their respective prayers. From above, the goddess addresses Kamsa, "You rascal, how can you kill me? The child who will kill you is already born before me somewhere within this world. Don't be so cruel in your poor sister. After this appearance, Goddess Durga became known by various names in various parts of the world. After hearing these words, Kamsa became very much overwhelmed with fear. Out of pity, he immediately released Vasudeva and Devaki from the bondage of their shackles and very politely began to address them. He said, "My dear sister and brother in law, I have acted just like a demon in killing my own nephews, your children, and thereby I have given up all consideration of our intimate relationship. I do not know what will be the result of these envious acts of mine. Probably I shall be sent to the hell where killers of Brahmanas go. I am surprised, however, that the celestial prophecy has not come true. It is not only in human society that false propaganda is found. Now it appears that even in the celestial denizens speak lies. Because I believed in the words of the celestial denizens, I have committed so many sins by killing the children of my sister. My dear Vasudeva and Devaki, you are both very great souls. I have no instructions to give you, but still I request that you not be sorry for the death of your children. Every one of us is under the control of superior power, and that superior power does not allow us to remain together. We are bound to be separated from our friends and relatives in due course of time. But we must know for certain that even after the disappearance of the different material bodies, the soul remains intact internally. Eternally. For example, there are many pots made of earthly clay, and they are prepared and also broken. But in spite of this, the earth remains as it is perpetually. Similarly, the bodies of the soul, under different conditions, are made and destroyed, but the spirit soul remains eternally. So there is nothing to lament over. Everyone should understand that this material body is different from the spirit soul, and so long as one does not come to that understanding, he is sure to accept the process of transmigration from one body to another. My dear sister
Hare
Devaki,
Krishna.
your
Thank you,
Hare,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Dharma Pranam.
Thank you, Dandat Pranam. Very interesting, isn't it? Kamsa is speaking philosophy, Bhagavad Gita. Right? Dehi nosmin yata dehe, kaumaram yovanam jara, tata dehantara prapti, dhiras tatrana bhuyati. Oh Devaki, do not lament for the death of your children. Right? Of course, we know that this is just a material body. We are not the body, we are the soul. Right? So this is the quality of a demon. Right? He could kill 6 children. Right? And he was attempted to kill all the 8 children of Devaki for the protection of his own body. That time he forgot all the scriptures. Right? So this is the attitude of a demon. To understand the scriptures, to study the scriptures and use it to one's personal advantage. This is the attitude of a demon. Whereas a devotee, why does he understand the scriptures? Right? That's why it said Jnana Karmali Anavritam. Pure devotional service is beyond speculation. What is Kamsa doing here? He knows the philosophy very nicely. He's applicable. The philosophy is applicable to everybody else other than him. Right? He is beyond everything. Right? Why? Because he can act according to his own whims and fancies. And that is the attitude of the demons. Right? And he's saying and giving a nice philosophical instructions to his sister. If he had given the same instruction to his own self, he would not have acted the way he did. Right? Very knowledgeable. That's why these, they. So what is important? Not having the knowledge. Having knowledge is not important. Anybody can study and understand. But what is important is how do we transform our life basis this knowledge given by Srila Prabhupada. Are we transforming our life? Today is the very auspicious occasion of incorporation of ISKCON, 1966, like so many years ago, 59 years ago, 58 years ago. Srila Prabhupada established this International Society for Krishna Consciousness so that we can together practice the principles. Right? He laid down 7 objectives for ISKCON. Right? Eternally, it boils down to Janma Sarthakari Kari Paropakar. How do we Janma Sarthakari? Only when we cooperate with each other within ISKCON and work as per the instructions given by Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, ISKCON is my body. Right? So in this way, if you are all connected to ISKCON and follow the principles given by Srila Prabhupada, then in the association of devotees, right? That's the most important thing. Right from on a Sunday morning, if you go to the temple, the first is we have starting with Mangalarati, then we have Narsingha Arati, then we have Tulsi Arati, then we have chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right, before that we recite the Shikshashtakam, the 10 offenses to the holy name, and then we have the Japa session, and then we have the Darshanarati, you have the Guru Puja, we have the Bhagavatam class, and then we have Prasadam. All of this happens in the association of devotees. So what is Srila Prabhupada given us? Srila Prabhupada has given us the entire package. Right? All the 64 angas of devotional service. Right? 40 or 50 of them are covered in the morning program on Sunday. And we do it in the association of devotees. Isn't it? So in this way, what is given here? We have to follow the instructions given by Prabhupada in the form of his lectures, in the form of his books. And ISKCON is a place where we congregate together to practice this. Right? Knowledge here, useless. Right? It comes also having all the knowledge. But is he utilizing it? for his own development, for his own progress. No, he is only causing himself to go through worse destination, right? Isn't it? So that is the nature of the demons. They have all the knowledge, but they want to utilize all of it for sense gratification, and that is the difference between a devotee and a demon. It's not about not having the knowledge, it's about using that knowledge for, say, either sense gratification as done by demons, or for samarpan, atma samarpan, seva bhav. That is how these knowledge is applied by a devotee. All right, let's move forward. Okay, who's reading next? Okay, Sudha Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
My dear sister Devaki, you are so gentle and kind. Please excuse me. Don't be aggrieved by the death of your children, which I have caused. Actually, this was not done by me because all these are predestined activities. One has to act according to the predestined plan, even unwillingly. People misunderstand that with the end of the body, the self dies, or they think that one can kill another living entity. All these misconceptions oblige one to accept the conditions of material existence. In other words, as long as one is not firmly convinced of the eternality of the soul, one is subjected to the tribulation of being killer and killed. My dear sister Devaki and brother-in-law Vasudeva, kindly excuse the atrocities I have committed against you. I am very poor-hearted and you are so great-hearted. So take compassion upon me and excuse me. While Kamsa was speaking to his brother-in-law and his sister, tears flowed from his eyes and he fell down at their feet. Believing the words of Durga Devi, whom he had tried to kill, Kamsa immediately released his brother-in-law and sister. He personally unlocked the iron shackles and very sympathetically showed his friendship for his family members. When Devaki saw her brother so repentant, she also became pacified and forgot all her atrocious activities against her children. Vasudeva, also forgetting all past incidents, spoke smilingly with his brother-in-law. Vasudeva told Kamsa, my dear fortunate brother-in-law, what you are saying about the material body and the soul is correct. Every living entity is born ignorant, misunderstanding this material body to be his self. This conception of life is due to ignorance, and on the basis of this ignorance, we create enmity of friendship, lamentation, jubilation, fearfulness, envy, greed, illusion, and madness. They are different features of a material concept of life. A person influenced like this engages in enmity only due to the material body. Being engaged in such activities, we forget our eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasudeva took the opportunity of Kamsa's
Thank you,
benevolence.
Mataji.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here we see Kamsa is telling chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. Kamsa is preaching chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita to Devaki. Right now he's repentant. Why? That's the irony here, right? Because he knows that the prophecy of this child, who became who became Durga Devi, right, is going to come true. But he doesn't want him to land himself in a very bad situation. He knows that he's committed atrocities, right? We know the Shastras. We saw how he is he's very conversant with all of the Shastras, right? And the truths of these various Shastras. So he's becoming very fearful. Okay, just like a criminal, right? When he does some mistake, when he does some theft, what will happen? He's very fearful inside. Oh God, what is the reaction that I'm going to get? Will I get caught? Will I go to the prison house? Like that. So in that way, he becomes so anxious. What is going to happen? What is his destination? Because he has a knowledge that if you sow sinful actions, you will reap only sinful reactions, right? As you sow, so shall you reap, isn't it? And Vasudeva, and look at the compassionate attitude of Devaki, right? Devaki, seeing the lamentation of Kamsa, she's forgetting everything. Just like Ashwathama, he also killed all the 5 sons of Draupadi, right? When Arjuna brought Ashwathama, then Draupadi also tells, right? Let Ashwathama's mother, who's Ashwathama's mother? Drona's wife, Kripi, right? Let Ashwathama's mother not go through the agony that I am going through because of the loss of my children. So the devotees are so compassionate. The devotees are so merciful that they are even nice to those who are causing misfortune to them, right? Because they know that some misfortune is coming because I deserve it. It's happening with the mercy. It's happening under the sanction of the Supreme Lord. So why should I blame the person who's giving it to me, right? When we order something from Amazon, right? And then what happens? Some defective piece comes, right? The person who delivers it, right? There's a defective piece. So do we blame the courier guy that what is this? Why have you sent a defective piece? Right? We have to go back to Amazon, right? That's what we do, right? So in this way, and why has this defective piece come to us? That is also because of our previous karma only, right? So whatever we are shelled out in this material world, it is because of the reactions of our past karmas. Be it happiness, be it so-called distress, whatever we perceive as happiness or distress, is a result of our previous actions. It's a result of our previous karmas. So devotee accepts it as such and does not develop animosity towards anybody who is simply an instrument in coming and delivering it to us, right? That person, yeah. So someone is asking, here it is mentioned Durga Devi, yeah. So Yoga Maya is for is covering is the covering consciousness for those who are devotees, right? Yoga Maya puts this veil even before Krishna. So Krishna also does not understand that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Damodar Leela, it is said Krishna did not act as if he's scared of Mother Yashoda. He was really scared of Mother Yashoda, that the kajal from his eyes are all dripping down because of his fear, right? But that is Yoga Maya is doing that. Whereas for Kamsa, for demoniac people, right, Yoga Maya assumes the form of Mahamaya. Right? Yoga Maya is, when she was born to Yashoda Maya, she is Yoga Maya. But when she comes in front of Kamsa, then she assumes the form of Durga Devi. Right? So in this way, both are energies of the Lord. According to the surrender of the devotee, the Lord and his energies manifest in certain ways. Right? To a devotee, she appears as Yoga Maya, encouraging the devotee to perform more and more devotional service. Whereas for a demon, she appears as Mahamaya, giving predictions. This will happen to you. This child is already born. He will come and kill you, like that. Right? So in this way, the attitude, the difference in the attitude of a devotee and a demon is specified here, right? Lamentation, jubilation, matras prashas konteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino anitya stam satikshashva bharata. Very nice philosophy, but we need to apply it and apply it in our life and understand what it means, right? We are not this body, so there may be heat, there may be cold, there may be happiness, there may be distress. In all situations, a devotee tolerates it, right? That's why Prabhupada says we tolerate happiness and distress, knowing well that both are results of our previous karma, both will change and both are temporary, right? But our service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is what is eternal, right? So let's see what Vasudev does now, right? Vasudev actually tells Kamsa, very wonderful, right? Whatever you've spoken are very good. They are the transcendental philosophy. It is true that we are not this body, we are eternal spirit souls. Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktanam, Kaya Aparta Chetasam, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadona Vidiyate. As long as we are attracted by the charms of this material world, the dazzleness of this material world, Bhoga Aishwarya, enjoyment and wealth and money and opulences of this material world, Taya Aparata Chetasam. Aparata means it will be stolen. That means our real understanding will be stolen. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, that means to focus on one thing, what is right, and to be able to discriminate. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadhav na vidiyate. That kind of samadhi, that kind of bliss, which is attained by focusing or having a one-pointed attention towards service of the Lord, will never arise in the heart of those who are attracted to Bhoga Aishwarya, who are attracted to sense enjoyment and opulences of this material world, and who have the intention to gratify their senses, like that. All right, let's move forward. Who's reading next? Okay, Shri Priya Sampat Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji.
Vasudeva took the opportunity of Kamsa's benevolence and informed him that his atheistic activities were also due to the misconception of life, namely taking the body in such an illuminating way. Kamsa became very pleased and his guilt.
Mataji, your voice is breaking. Okay, we'll ask someone else to read.
Killing his nephew subsided with the permission of with a relieved mind. Hare Krishna. But the next day, Kamsa called all his counselors together and narrated them to all the incidents that had happened the night before. All the counselors of Kamsa were demons and eternal enemies of the dead. Speak of the night's event, and although they were not very much experienced or learned, they began to give instruction to Kamsa as follows. Dear sir, let us now make arrangements to kill all children who were born within the last 10. Let us execute this plan indiscriminately. We think that the demigods cannot do anything against us if we perform these atrocities. They are always afraid of fighting with us, and even if they wish to check our activities, they will not dare to do so. Because of your immeasurable strength, they fear your bow. Indeed, we have practical experience that whenever you stood to fight with them and began to shower your arrows on them, they immediately fled in all directions just to save their lives. Many of them themselves unto you by loosening their turbans and tufts of hair on their heads. With folded hands, they begged you to spare them and said, My lord, we are all afraid of your strength. Please release us from this dangerous
Okay, Mataji,
from this
Mataji, your
dangerous
voice
fight.
is breaking,
We have
Mataji.
also seen many times that you would never use arrows and
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Mataji, your voice is breaking. No, in between there's a lot of sound also coming. We'll ask Rajneesh Prabhu. We'll come back to you, Mataji, if time permits. Okay, Rajneesh Prabhu, go ahead with folded hands.
Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, we'll come back to you, Mataji. So a lot of disturbance is coming. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Okay, Rajneesh Prabhu, go ahead.
माताजी मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
With folded hands from there.
Okay. With folded hands, they begged you to spare them and said, My lord, we are all afraid of your strength. Please release us from this dangerous fight. We have also seen many times that you would never kill such stranded fighters when they were all fearful, their bows, arrows, and chariots broken, forgetful of their military activities, and unable to fight with you. So actually, we have nothing to fear from these demigods. They are very proud of being great fighters in peacetime outside the war field, but actually they cannot show any talent or military power on the war field. Although Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma are always ready to help the demigods headed by Indra, we have no reason to be afraid of them. As far as Lord Vishnu is concerned, he has already hidden himself within the hearts of all living entities and he cannot come out. As far as Lord Shiva is concerned, he has renounced all activities. He has already entered into the forest, and Lord Brahma is always engaged in different types of austerities and meditation. And what to speak of Indra, he is a satra in comparison to your strength. Therefore, we have not, we have therefore we have nothing to fear from any of these demigods, but we must not neglect them, for the demigods are our determined enemies. We must be careful to protect ourselves, to root them out from their very existence. We should just engage ourselves in your service and be always ready for your command. The demons continued to say, if there is some disease in the body,
Okay, Hare
which
Krishna
is
Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Bol. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So we just Hare Krishna. So we'll just discuss this. This is very good, right? According to our Sangat, right? Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kaha, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoya. If you have the association of devotees, they will deliver us from the threefold material existence. But if you have the association of demons, what they will do? Even if we give up some sense gratificatory activities, they will add fuel to the fire. Oh, they were always scared of us. You should continue your atrocities, right? Even if the demon at least comes to the point of not engaging in such atrocious activities, he leaves Vasudeva and Devaki. Okay, now you go, I'm sorry, and all. Then also, if you have demonic association, they will try to bring us back to the same situation. They will encourage us to perform demonic activities. That is why it is said that we are the average of the 5 people whom we associate with day in and day out. Right? We will develop their attitude only. We will develop their bhava. If they have bhoga vritti, then automatically we will also develop bhoga vritti. That is why very important. Rupa Goswami tells in Nectar of Instruction, what is that verse? Sangatyaga satovritte sadbir bhaktir prasidyati. Sangatyaga. That is why we should give up materialistic association. Satovritte, following the footsteps of great Vaishnava Acharyas. Surround ourselves with people who will motivate us to perform devotional service, rather than surround ourselves with people who appreciate us, who flatter us for no reason, right? Who tell us, oh, you are the entire world, you are the king, you are the queen. You should understand that I am a servant. If somebody is praising me that you are the king, you are the queen, whatever you do will take place, you should understand, right? That such a person, okay, I should not be taking this person's association, right? Why? Because this person will ensure that I degrade myself, I fall down, right? Because this person is giving me some hope, because of which I will develop this false ego that I am something superior, whereas I am simply a servant, right? That's why we should be very careful in whose association we are. We should be in the association of those devotees who are sincere, who are determined, who are enthusiastic in practicing devotional service, so that in their association we also practice devotional service, and in this way we also please Guru and Gauranga. So this is the importance of association, right? Kamsa, although he's become better, he wants to he was get into sattvic behavior. His demonic associates, they drag him down to actually perform more degrading activities, right? So in this way we should be careful what association we take. All right, Karpagavali Mataji, go ahead. The demons continue to say, Hare Krishna, you there? Sindhu Mataji, you there?
Yes, Mataji. Hari Bol, am I audible?
Yes. Go ahead, Mataji. The demons continue to say,
Hari Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The demons continue to say, if there is some disease in the body which is neglected, it worsens and becomes incurable. Similarly, when one is not careful about restraining the senses and lets them loose, it is then very difficult to control them. Therefore, we must now be very careful of the demigods before they get too strong to be subdued. The foundation of the strength of the demigods is Lord Vishnu, because the ultimate goal of all religious principles is to satisfy him. The Vedic injunctions, the Brahmanas, the cows, austerity, sacrifices, performances of charity, and distribution of wealth are all for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So let us immediately begin by killing all the Brahmanas who are in charge of the Vedic knowledge, along with the great sages who are in charge of sacrificial, ritualistic performances. Let us kill all the cows which are the source of butter, which is so necessary for performing sacrifices. Please give us your permission to kill all these creatures. Actually, the limbs of the transcendental body of Lord Vishnu are the Brahmanas, the cows, the Vedic knowledge, austerity, truthfulness, sense and mind control, faithfulness, charity, tolerance, and performance of sacrifices. Lord Vishnu is situated in everyone's heart and is a leader of all the demigods, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Therefore, we think that to persecute the great sages and Brahmanas is to kill Lord Vishnu. Thus, being advised by his demoniac ministers,
thank you, Mataji. Haribol, thank you. So, thank you, Mataji. We had you have a paragraph more. We'll ask Karpagavali Mataji to read that. In the meanwhile, let's summarize this. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagaditaya Krishnaya, Govindaya, Namo Namaha. Right? Krishna is very pleased when we respect the Brahmanas, we offer charity to the Brahmanas, we respect the cows, we perform Godhan, right? Whatever is required for the cows. Right? The other day I was hearing that even if once the soul leaves the body, right, it travels at a certain speed until every soul travels to Yamaloka, where all of one's activities of the entire life is being gone through. At that time, if the descendants or if the people who are there, his relatives, his family members, his sons, daughters, etc., if they perform Go Seva, then it helps this particular soul cross over. There is one river, which is very difficult to cross, right? It is said that it is made of blood, pus, urine, etc. Right? According to the previous activities that we've done, it becomes difficult or easy for us to cross that or jump over that ocean. Right? For those who are devotees who remember the Lord at the end of their life, they go back to Godhead. Right? But those who have committed, who have not completed their devotional service, right? Even those who have performed some sinful activities, then Go Seva actually pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one performs Go Seva, when one performs service to the cows, offering food to the cows, etc., then what happens? One actually helps one's forefathers also get delivered from these fearful conditions of life, right? Or fearful conditions after life also. Right? So in this way, Krishna is very pleased when Brahmanas and cows are satisfied. Namo Brahmane Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitayacha, because he himself wants to give pleasure to Go and Brahmana. Go Brahmana Hitayacha, Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. He himself is called Govinda, one who gives pleasure to the cows, one who gives pleasure to the senses of those who are engaged in his service. That is why we feel bliss, because Krishna only gives us that bliss. When we experience joy in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we should understand that the joy is coming because we have served and satisfied Lord Sri Krishna. Right? Jagat, what is that? Krishna Tushti, Jagat Tushta. Right? If Krishna is satisfied, the entire world can be satisfied. If Krishna is pleased, then we can please everybody else. It doesn't work the other way. If we try to please our husband, our children, our relatives, our community, our society, our country, right? We cannot please so many people. We will only be frustrated at that endeavor. At the same time, it may not please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But simply if we please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everybody else in this world, in this universe will be pleased. So as intelligent people, we should know whom and what we want to do, whom we want to please, like that. All right, let's ask Karpavali Mataji now to lead the last paragraph, and with this we complete the 4th chapter of the book, Krishna book. Okay, now I cannot see her. Okay, who wants to read it now? Sindhu Mataji, you want to continue?
Yes, Mataji. Sure, Mataji.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, the limbs, I read that. Okay.
Thus being advised by his demoniac ministers.
Thus being advised by his demoniac ministers, Kamsa, who was from the very beginning the greatest rascal, decided to persecute the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. Being entrapped by the shackles of the all-devouring eternal time, he ordered the demons to harass all kinds of saintly persons, and then he entered his house. The adherents of Kamsa were all influenced by the mode of passion as well as illusioned by the mode of ignorance, and their only business was to create enmity with the saintly persons. Such activities can only reduce one's duration of life. The demons accelerated the process and invited the deaths as soon as possible. The result of persecuting saintly persons is not only untimely death. The act is so offensive that the perpetrator also gradually loses his beauty, his fame, and his religious principles, and thus his promotion to higher planets is checked. Driven by various kinds of mental concoctions, the demons diminish all kinds of auspiciousness. An offense at the lotus feet of the devotees and Brahmanas is a greater offense than that committed at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A civilization that commits sinful activities generally loses all faith in the Supreme Lord, and such a godless civilization becomes the source of all calamities in the human society. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 4th chapter of Krishna. Kamsa begins his persecutions. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So this is the rule of the world, right? Krishna Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. So Krishna has established the rules of this world. What are the rules of the world? As you sow, so shall you reap. If you try to kill the Brahmanas, kill the cows, right? Then we ourselves will be persecuted by the laws of nature. And when we have to go for our final Q&A session with Yamaraj, that time we have to explain all our activities. So we should be I wouldn't say we should fear, right? As devotees, we want to transcend from the mode of duty, the mode of fear, right? Chaturveda bhajante mam, jana sukritam arjuna, artho jignashu artharthi jnani cha bharatarshaba. That is the initial stage when somebody comes into Krishna consciousness, right? The 4 kinds of pious people who are fearful, who want to acquire wealth, who have a lot of material desires to be fulfilled, and who are knowledgeable, right? In that verse, Krishna tells somebody who is a jnani is, although all 4 are pious people, he regards all the 4 as pious because they all come to me, even to satisfy their material desires, even to get rid of the material pains. These people are also very great, but out of them, I consider the person who comes to me in knowledge, jnani, right? Such a person is very elevated, and such a person is very dear to me. So Krishna wants us to understand the Bhakti Tattva, understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, dovetail all of our material desires and cultivate spiritual desires so that we engage in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is what is the actual appearance of Krishna in our hearts. Right? When lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion are all removed by the process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. There are 7 transcendental effects of chanting the holy name. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, cleansing of the mirror of the heart. Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam, the fire of sense gratification that is there in the heart goes away. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. Right? Then there is a coolness of the moon that arises in the heart because the fire is mitigated. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidya Vadu Jivanam, and their transcendental knowledge automatically appears in the heart. Just like Vidya Vadu Jivanam. Vadu means wife. Just like the wife follows the husband, transcendental knowledge follows the person who's engaged in devotional service. Vidya Vadu Jivanam, Anandambudi Vardhanam. That means one experiences transcendental bliss when one performs devotional service. Anandambudi Vardhanam, Pratipadam Purna Amrita Swadhanam. And that person relishes transcendental taste in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sarvatma Snapanam. Right? And it is, and every Atma, every person can get purified to this level of attaining the ultimate bliss only by the following of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Param Vijayate, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Simply by engaging in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, in Harinama Sankirtan, one gets all the benefits, all these transcendental effects, which can transport one from this material world or transport one from a material consciousness to a spiritual consciousness, starting from cleansing the mirror of the heart until Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Until one develops the bliss in the heart. After all of the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya is removed, then there is place only for prema. There is only place for love in the heart. And that love is not only towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That love is towards every living entity. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Kavihastini, Shuni Chaiva, Swapakacha, Panditaha, Samadarshinaha. Right? A person becomes equal in vision. Right? Not that he thinks that everybody is God. That's not the equal vision. The equal vision is to understand that everybody is a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is one. It is all of our duty to serve the Supreme Lord. I will serve the Lord, and I will also ensure to pass on this message to everybody else, right? So that all of us together in cooperation serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead for his own pleasure. Krishna Book Ki Jai. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. International Society for Krishna Consciousness Ki Jai. International Society for Krishna Consciousness founder Acharya His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindha Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Itai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So we'll do quickly 3-4 minutes Harinam Sankirtan. Devotees can switch on your cameras. Already I'm seeing few devotees. Thank you for joining in. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Swami Niti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Ashatari Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Priya Chaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai, Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai, Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha, Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana, Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha Shri Diva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Nitai Gorango Nitai Gorango Nitai Gorango Bolo Gora Hari Jai Satchinandana Jaya Satchinandana Jaya Satchinandana Gaura Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Gaurani Jai 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 Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sudarshana Jai Bala Gopal Jayo Radha Shamsundar Jayo Radha Madhav Jayo Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Radhe Jayo Radhe Radhe Jaya Sri Radhe Jaya Guru Parampara Jayo Tat Goswami Jayo Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Koti Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glory to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glory to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glory to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So thank you all very much. I am able to see Shobha Mataji, Harjit Mataji, Shri Priya Mataji, Rajneesh Prabhu, Sindhu Mataji, Anusha Mataji and her little son, Jai. Moshmi Mataji. Thank you all very much for joining in. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Sarva Gopi Shri Mataji, Manasi Mataji, all the devotees, thank you all very much for joining in. Moshmi Mataji, Manchakalpatrubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Anantagoti Vaishnava ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. So tomorrow morning we are traveling to Pune for my daughter's admission. So I'm not very sure what timings we will have. Tomorrow we might have, once we reach there, we are staying in the ISKCON NVCC guest house. So probably in the afternoon, say 2:30, 3 o'clock, I will let you all know the time. But we will have a session, and then day after tomorrow is Ekadashi. Right? Day after tomorrow is Ekadashi. So we have His Grace Radhesham Prabhu's Bhagavatam class. And then after that, we have to go for her admission in the hostel and all that. It's Ekadashi also. We might have a session late in the evening. So I'm telling you in advance, exact time I'll be able to tell you tomorrow. Once I reach there, I will know the timings. Please do keep yourself free in the second half. Say 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, some or the other, even 9 o'clock. We will have it. At least we will read the Ekadashi Mahatmya like that. We will have at least a half an hour to an hour session. Please do join us on Ekadashi day. And of course, Dwadashi, we need to break fast as per our parent time. And the later days, we will have it some or the other. We will manage to do some time, but I will put in the group. So stay tuned in there. Just tolerate me for this week. Next Monday, I'm back in Mumbai, and then we will follow a regular routine. Yeah. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai. Anantagoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai, God Premanandi Hari Hari Bole. Also request all the devotees to keep Dhanya in your prayers so that she studies well, she utilizes her skills and talents. And also we have Sarva Gopeshwari Mataji's grandson who's also joined BTech. So all of our children, they should do well materially and spiritually and engage their skills, talents, resources in the service of Guru and Gauranga. So we need the prayers of all the devotees for all of our children and for all of us. We need to make the right decisions. We need to help them in all ways so that they are inspired to practice devotional service. We need to become good examples for them. So kindly keep all of us in your prayers, and we keep all of you all in our prayers. So in this way, we pray for each other, and in this way, we get access to the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Gauranga. So let's all chant one time the Panchatattva mantra and 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If it pleases Lord Shri Krishna, may all of us keep very good health and always engage in the service of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Ki Jai, Shri
Jai.
Gurudev Jai.
Jai,
Society for Krishna Consciousness Ki
Jai.
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 Gaur Premanande.
Hare
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 Hari
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare
Thank you all
Krishna
very much.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Tomorrow
Hare
morning we'll
Krishna.
meet for Brahma Murta chanting, 5 a.m. Hare Krishna.